Okay, so today our coding challenge is going to be find the missing letter. So the instructions for that: write a method that takes an array of consecutive increasing letters and as input, and that returns the missing letter in the array. You will always get a valid array, and it will be always exactly one letter missing. The length of the array will always be at least 2. The array will always contain letters in only one case. Example, and then it has A, B, C, D, F, and E is missing, O, Q, R, S, and P is missing. So use the English alphabet with 26 letters. Have fun coding it, and please don't forget to vote and rank this kata. All right. So this is our array, and we're supposed to return the missing letter. So the easiest way to do this was probably to use character codes, and I don't quite remember how those work, so we're going to have to kind of play around with it a little bit. So we have our array, and for each letter in the array, let's return the character code, just to familiarize ourselves with how those work, because I don't quite remember. All right, so we have our element, and for that element, I think it's char code at, I think is the method. Is it the index here? We might have to look at the documentation on this, but let's see if this gives us anything. Oh, of course not, because I didn't do anything with it. And there's some kind of syntax error. Oh, okay. I need closing parentheses here, because this is a function we're passing into the for each method. All right, so let's console log this. I'm almost certain that's not the way that works, but let's just check. Okay, actually it did work. So we have our character code, so 97, 98, 99, and 100, and then 102. And then we can take our char code from these numbers and go back to a character, I think. So how are we going to do that? So I think the second argument that can be passed into the function that's being passed into the for each function is the index. And we're going to need that because we're going to need to look back at the previous element and see if its character code is one less than the element that we're looking at currently. And if it is, we can just return that, whatever that missing number would be, and convert it to a character. All right, so let's capture this character code first in a variable. So that's going to be, let's just call it the current code. And previous code, this is going to be a little tricky. So const previous code equals, and it's not going to be element, it's going to be, so we need a third argument here. The third argument that can be passed in here is the array. That would be the full array that's being passed in. So it's actually going to be array at index -1, because we want to look back at the previous element. And that's going to be the char code, or the character code at that index. Not 100% sure if that's correct, but all right. So now we need to compare the two. So if current code bang equals previous code plus 1. Because remember these character codes increment by 1 if they're in order, and if there's one missing, then we found our missing number. So if current code bang equals previous code plus 1, we are going to return I don't know how we convert it back. I think it's char code from, but we're going to have to look at the documentation for that. So I also forgot to set the timer for this one, but we're going to have to skip the timer because it's a little late now. But code from. Okay, so it's from char code, and it's on the string. It's a method on the string object. So string from char code, from character code, and it's going to be previous code plus 1. And then let's get rid of this other return statement here. All right, let's see our sample test. Okay, there was a problem here. Cannot read property char code at of undefined. Char code at 0. Well, not necessarily. It could be also this. Okay, so the problem is on the first element, the array index minus 1 is going to be a missing. It's going to be missing because it's the first element, so the previous element doesn't exist. It would be the -1 index. So, so we're going to have to put that, I guess, in a conditional statement. So if index is greater than 0, then we're going to do all that stuff that's inside of and now it's getting a little muddled. I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but all right, let's try it now. All right, still failing. Let's see why. Previous is not defined. Previous code. All right, now let's try it. All right, so expected E instead got undefined, expected P instead got undefined. Array index with char code at 0. Let's just wonder if there is a problem with the +1. I can't remember if you can do operations inside of arguments you're passing in, so still undefined. All right, so the problem's here, I believe, so let's comment this stuff out. Let's just console log the previous code and current code and see if that's giving us what we would expect. So previous code and plus, and then we want a space in between. Current code. Oops. that is giving me what I would expect, so... Because here, the previous code should not equal, our current code should not equal the previous code plus 1. Let's just, maybe I'm not using the from character code correctly, so let's console log that real quick. So string from character code, and let's use the current code. Okay, so that works correctly. I'm not sure I know what the problem is. All right, so I don't think it's a, so this is a strict comparison here. Let's allow for conversion and see if that fixes something. So it's got undefined. I'm sure it's something real simple that I'm missing here. That should make a difference, but undefined, huh? All right, so let's see if this is even, if this part of the code is even running. So I'm just going to console log this. All right, so it is. So D, and if I were to do this plus 1. Okay, so we are getting the correct letter. Why is there a problem when I'm trying to return it? That I don't understand. Expected E instead got undefined. I mean, let's store this in the variable. And return the, I do not see why this would make a difference, but I'm just really at a loss as to why it's not working here. Undefined. Okay, so, but if we console log this string, E, P. Huh. Unhandled rejection. Test error. Expected E instead got undefined. Yeah, I don't quite understand what I'm missing here. All right, I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes to fix this, and then we're gonna move on. So, all right, so we're console logging the string, and it is logging the correct letter. So if I check the type, it should be a string, and it is. But if I return it, it says it's returning undefined. Instead got undefined. I mean, what if I return test? So this should stop the code right here and just return test. Okay, so that's working. So for some reason it's not either making it to this return statement, but it is because the console logs are working. Or there's some problem with this string where it's not, it's returning undefined instead of yeah, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the for each. I'm kind of just trying different stuff here now. Const, and we'll just register the string up here, or we'll define it up there, and we're going to say that it equals that there, and then we'll return it at the very end. So this is going to change. This needs to be a let. Okay. String is not defined. Definitely defined it. Oh, it's inside the for each loop. I need to be one level above that. All right, now let's try it. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why that worked. Let's see if we can figure it out real quick. So we have the string actually defined up here as null. Once we get to this if statement, we make the string equal that character, and then we return it once we're outside of the for each. Oh, okay, so I think I get it. So once we return the string from the for each, it actually just exits us out of the for each and returns it to the outside function, I believe, and nothing's being returned from this function. So we had to actually return the string outside of the for each loop, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. So let's attempt the actual test here. Okay, we passed. Took us 3 minutes and 30 seconds to figure that out, so we're going to call that a success. And if you enjoyed this video or got anything from it, be sure to like and subscribe. And happy coding!